Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 1 of Fitness and Money, Maximizing Your Health and Wealth. You know, as I was going through media platforms, I was noticing that there were many fitness related videos and probably just as many finance and wealth creation videos. And some of them were helpful, some of them weren't. A lot of the financial videos kind of talked over your head in a way. And some of the fitness videos, quite honestly, were either intimidating or they were just, some of them were flat out wrong. So I thought I'd bring these two subjects together so that we could really start the base of being fit, being healthy, being more responsible with our money, and building wealth. Now, that being said, it's not going to matter where you are on the wealth scale or where you are on the fitness scale. Everybody's going to get something out of these particular videos. The ground rules are going to be, we're not going to hear any screaming and grunting and a lot of sweating for the fitness portion. And for the financial portion, we're not going to have somebody sit behind a desk with a tie and a shirt. It's going to be me, and I'm going to be giving you the advice. I have 35 years of fitness experience and 35 years of financial experience to be able to draw on. And I think this is going to be very instructional from a fitness standpoint and very instructional from a financial standpoint as well. Now, you might notice that I'm working out at home, actually in my basement. So, short story, when COVID started, you know, I was working out at the gym like anybody else, and the gyms essentially shut down and then subsequently reopened and shut down. During that time frame, I just decided that I was going to work out at home. I've been doing that ever since. What I found out is that working out at home and working out with less equipment can actually be more beneficial. That's not to say that the machines at the gym or the benches and barbells at the gym don't have their use, because they do. But I found that working out with dumbbells and variations of dumbbells did just as well for me. I did just as well. I felt just as good. Everything was good. And I was working out with less equipment and actually getting a better workout. So that's what the hope is here for you as well. So I think the way that we're going to work it is, from a fitness standpoint, we're going to take all of the different body parts. We're probably going to start from head to toe, and we're going to take one exercise per body part per day. We're going to explain it in detail. I'm going to show you the wrong way and the right way to do the exercise so that you can maximize what you're trying to get from that particular exercise. From a financial standpoint, I'm probably going to give you 1 or 2 tips, and we're going to start very basic with how you can start, no matter where you are, to build wealth. And again, you know, building wealth is important, but without our health, I'm not sure that that second part is as important. And that's why I specifically put fitness in front of money in the title, because I do think that fitness and health management is the utmost priority. So let's get started with what kind of, and this video is going to be just a tad bit longer than the ones that are to come, only because I'm going to show you the different types of equipment that you can use. So let's get right to that. The first thing that you can use, which I happen to use, is something called a power block. A power block is something that's, I don't want to say relatively new, but it's relatively new to me, and it replaces a whole bunch of dumbbells. You can go into a gym and see dumbbells, you know, 10s all the way up to 120s. Well, obviously that doesn't seem very space economical or efficient to have that in your house. So these power blocks are something that allow you to do just that, but within a very convenient package. So I'm going to show you what a power block looks like. We're going to go into this I'm going to explain it a little bit more in future episodes, but for right now, let's just say this is the power block, and it kind of looks like its name. It's a block, and what happens is as you want to move down in weight, get heavier in weight, you can pull out this little tool and move it down into these grooves. And as you do that, the weight will increase. So it's very efficient. They are a little bit pricey, but if you have the ability to use these, they're very easy. And again, for space management, they're very efficient. So this is kind of what I use. But again, you don't need to use it. There's other things you can use to get just as much benefit from other tools. One of those other tools, next in line, is the traditional dumbbell. So this happens to be a 15-pounder, but if you have dumbbells laying around, this is your traditional dumbbell, and you're going to be able to do just about any exercise that I'm going to show you with these dumbbells. In some cases, you're probably going to need a set. So you're going to need two 15s, 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever strength level you're at. You're going to probably need a set of those, but not all exercises. In fact, not the one I'm going to show you today. Next, we have the traditional kettlebell. So kettlebells, I never really got into kettlebells until a couple of years ago, and they absolutely have their worth. You can substitute them for dumbbells. You can also do other exercises with these because of the way that they're made with the molded handle on top, as opposed to the dumbbell that is configured like this. They both have their use. You can use either. I'm going to kind of tailor the exercises and workouts so that you can use any of these tools. Next is your traditional plate. Usually you'll see these on a barbell or what they call an easy curl bar. You slide the weights on and you can do bench presses, you can do curls, you can do all different kinds of things. We're not going to be using a bar, but these individual plates, if you have them or you can get them, you can still do the exercises that I'm going to show you with these individual plates. So now moving over to this side, we're going to kind of get away from these somewhat traditional weights, and we're going to get into what's going to be more inexpensive, but it's going to work just as good. There may be a few little limitations, but not anything that's worth noting. And the first thing is these straps. So you can get these straps at, you can get them pretty much anywhere. You can even get them at some drugstores. They usually come in a 3-pack, and they're usually a light, medium, and heavy band. So you'll have 3 different variations depending on what your strength level is. You start out with whichever one is comfortable to you, and they're probably going to be much longer than this, but you get the idea. It's a band. You're going to be able to stretch it based on the different exercise, and that's going to give you the resistance you need to work the muscle. Lastly, we've got power bands. These are your traditional power bands. They've got handles, as you can see, and you can do all kinds of exercises and the same types of things that can be accomplished with dumbbells and all these other things with these power bands. These will also come in light, medium, and heavy based on wherever you are with your fitness level. You use the appropriate band. You'll be able to step on these. You'll be able to do all different kinds of exercises. So we'll get into that. But any of these pieces of equipment will work for you. It's whatever you want to, how much money you want to put into it, or how much money you don't have to put into it. It's not going to matter. You can use any array of these. Only because of choice, I'm going to be doing the exercises with this power block just because I happen to like that piece of equipment. But again, you don't have to. So the first exercise that we're going to get into, I figured we would do back first. And back is a large muscle, obviously. It's counterbalanced by your chest. So you need, people that People that work just their chest and don't work their back, you're going to have problems. People that work their back and don't work their chest, you're going to have problems. You kind of need to have one kind of counterbalances the other. So we're going to start with back and then we're going to go to chest. And again, we're going to do one exercise per day or per video. And by the time we're done, we're going to have so many exercises and we're going to have so much financial information. You're going to be able to just go back to videos and pick pieces and parts to review. But we are going to start basic because I don't want to leave anybody out. So that being said, we're going to start doing a dumbbell row. Now, dumbbell rows are one of the exercises that's consistently done wrong. I see people in the gym, or I should say I used to see people in the gym, and it's amazing. I don't know where they get their information or whether they just want to do it themselves because they're afraid of asking someone. And that kind of goes the same way with financial advice too. Sometimes financial advisors will talk over people's heads and that doesn't do any good. And, you kind of like don't want to say anything because you don't want to appear like you don't know anything. So it's not going to be that way here. It's going to be very basic. You'll understand everything. So this first exercise, we're going to do the one-arm dumbbell row. I'm going to show you the incorrect way to do it. So when you go into the gym, you're going to see a lot of people doing it this way. They're going to be going like this, and they think that they're working their back in a very efficient, optimal manner. That's totally wrong. And I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and then I'm going to explain why the right way is different from the way that most people usually do it. So we're going to start with one foot over here, and we're going to start with the other foot kind of angled like this. We're going to grab the dumbbell or piece of equipment, whatever one you have, and start right over here, and you're going to pull. So you're pulling across your body, essentially, is what you're doing. And as you pull across your body, you are minimizing the amount of bicep that you're using, and you're maximizing the amount of back that you're using. So you're going to feel it doing it this way. You're going to feel it right here, which is called your latissimus dorsi muscle. Instead of feeling it as you're doing it here, you're feeling it in your bicep. Let me explain why. So you have major muscles and you have minor muscles. Your bicep is a smaller muscle than your back, obviously. That bicep muscle is going to give out in any exercise. It's going to reach fatigue or reach failure prior to your back. That's not what we want to happen. We want to make sure that we minimize the amount of bicep activity with that particular exercise and maximize back. So just by making, I'll do it once more, just by making that subtle change in stance and motion, it's going to make a world of difference in terms of not using your bicep, not getting it to fail sooner, and maximizing your back. Again, see a lot of people in the gym. They might be doing this, they might be doing this, doesn't matter. If they are coming up and down like this, that is not the right motion to be using for this particular exercise. Again, you're involving your bicep. You don't want to do that. So by changing your stance to something like this, where you have to pull across your body, you're going to feel your back working, and you're minimizing, you can't take it out completely, but you're minimizing your bicep coming in, being the weak link that's going to not allow you to get your back work. So that's today's exercise. So let's get into a little bit about finance and financial planning. So this is going to be really basic, and everybody's going to say, yeah, I already know that. Wealth and big salaries are not the same thing. A lot of people make large salaries, but they are not wealthy. There are people that make moderate and lower salaries that are wealthy. The difference between those individuals is you have to be able to pay yourself first. You have to, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. You can have a large salary, but if you're spending all of that salary, you're not building any wealth. You know, a lot of people have to work their entire lives to maintain their lifestyle with big salaries. The objective should be to save and invest so that you don't have to work forever. The best way to do this is to, again, it's called pay yourself first. Very simply, what that means is if you're working for a particular employer or you're self-employed and they have some type of a plan, whether it be corporate plans are called 401ks, there are other government plans and plans that teachers have, 403bs, there's IRAs, there's a number of different things that we'll go over in future episodes. But let's just say, you know, you got to be able to pay yourself first, and this is really, really key, it has to be automated. If you don't see the money, you won't have the chance to spend it. They've done studies that if you rely on yourself to diligently see the money in your checking account and then go and invest it or go and save it, you won't. You'll find a place to spend it. You will spend whatever your level of income is. That's why you have to be able to get it taken out of ahead of time, whether it be your employer putting it into, you know, their 401k plan, or if you're self-employed or you have other types of income, you have to be able to automate it so you never see the money. Trust me, you will get used to that level of income in a short period of time, never seeing X amount of dollars that are coming out for your investments. And I hate to say savings accounts because savings accounts aren't really going to do it. We're in a high inflation environment, as probably everybody knows. You have to be able to take some type of risk, calculated risk, for the long term. That usually means mutual funds and individual stocks. We'll go over that in future episodes, but I did want to hit home the point that you have to be able to automate it. And if your company or your school system has something where they will incentivize you, let's say a lot of plans, you know, you'll put in 6% of your pay and they will contribute 3% on top of that. That is free money. That is absolutely free money, and you should take advantage of that free money. Now, within those plans, you know, maybe the next thing that we're going to talk about is, and we'll do this in the next episode, is, you know, you're going to have money that can be deferred, which means that comes out of your gross income, tax deferred money, or you can have it come out of your net income and you can put it in what's called a Roth. A lot of companies have Roth 401ks, or if you want to start a Roth IRA. Big differences between those two. I'll probably get into those key points between those two in the next episode. But the takeaway again is you have to be able to pay yourself first so that you don't see the money, and that's going to be your first step to building wealth. Because there's another thing that we're going to go over in another episode, and it's called compounding. and there's something called the rule of 72 and how long it takes to double your money. These are all really, really key things that I think are really going to excite you. When I start throwing out some numbers to you, you're going to be like, wow, even if I only save this amount, I can end up with this amount at a particular point in time. So that's all I've got for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Please hit the like button if you want to subscribe. Again, we're probably going to be doing this every 3 or 4 days. And hopefully you have a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.